Hi, guys. I'm Liz.
I'm Jen. Welcome back to our podcast. This
Yes, it
is
is.
number 3.
Yeah.
Exciting.
Uh-huh. How's your day going today?
My
How's your
day's-
day going today?
It's going good, actually. It's going really good. It's very hot outside,
It is.
but we're lucky to be inside
Uh-huh.
and in the AC, which
Yeah.
is nice.
Very much so.
Yeah, we have some fires going on because that's what happens here.
I know.
And
A lot of pollution, too.
Yep.
Mhm.
Yep. So everybody's sniffling and all the things. And how about you? How are you?
I'm doing good.
Yeah.
Feeling a little pregnant today.
You're feeling a little pregnant?
Yeah.
You are
A lot of it.
pregnant.
I know. Almost there. Last
Yeah.
stretch.
That is awesome. I'm so excited for you too.
I know. I can't wait.
Yeah. We'll have a little break from this when
Yeah.
you have the baby and all that. But
Yeah. When he gets here.
yeah,
I know.
it's exciting.
Yeah.
So there's a lot going on in the world.
Yeah.
Obviously, we don't have time to talk about everything going on in the world, right?
Mhm.
But we've got the Tyler Robinson case going on, which is
gosh.
wild.
It's insane.
So wild. And then we have the explosive diarrhea that I've been hounding you about. I'm like,
Yeah.
have you heard about the explosive diarrhea
Yeah.
parasite
Yeah.
that just happens to be in healthy foods?
Yeah. Coincidence?
Coincidence, yeah. So that's another topic. But today we're going to talk about vaccines.
Vaccines.
Vaccinations.
How do you feel about them?
So I will say, when I was raising my kids, I raised my kids in the 90s.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Obviously, you know that because you're married to one of them. So, but raised my kids in the 90s. I was a young mom at 20 years old, and I had no idea what to do. I just did what people told me to do.
Yeah.
And so I did vaccinate all my kids.
Naturally.
Right.
Everyone was too.
Yeah. I mean, they scare you and say, if you don't do this, then, you know, this is going to happen. And they give you misinformation as well. And you don't realize as a mom that you are signing off if anything does happen, if there is any side effects, that you can't sue anybody for it. It doesn't matter because you're agreeing.
The doctors and the manufacturers have no liability.
Right. Which is, it's scary. But as a 20-year-old, you're not looking at that stuff. You're just like, oh, we're supposed to do this because my parents did this and, you know, everybody before me and all the things. So I did do that. But I do remember, and I think I told you about this before, where I was 21 and I lived in this apartment and I had a neighbor and we had kids that were the same age. So I had a daughter. She had a daughter. And I want to say that my daughter was like 2 months old, 2 or 3 months old. Hers the same. And they gave my daughter a polio vaccine. They gave her all these other ones too. I don't remember exactly what they were, but I know specifically there was a polio vaccine. And her daughter got it as well. Well, 2 or 3 days later, her daughter got really sick. And then her daughter ended up being crippled and mentally disabled.
No way.
Yeah. And
How old was she? The little girl?
The little girl was like
The same.
2 months. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So she started showing signs of, I think she had a seizure and all kinds of things. I don't remember. I was so young and that was so long ago, but I remember she got sick and it was right after she got her shots, right after her vaccines. And even then I kind of, you know, didn't really chalk it up to it's because of the vaccine. But now that there's so much information out there for moms and dads, I'm like pretty sure that she was hurt by the vaccine.
Like a vaccine injury?
Yes.
Do you remember talking to the mom and her ever like speculating whether or not she felt like it had to do with the vaccine?
She did. And she was a young mom like me too.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's actually very common. I had read that moms for like decades have been gaslit after they've noticed that their kids or their children act different after getting vaccinated, or if they have like a vaccine injury and they try to connect it to a vaccine, they always get gaslit. So it's been happening forever.
Yeah, it's
but
crazy.
even like going back to what you said too, where now looking back, like there's more information on it and like people are connecting 2 and 2 together. Like same thing with SIDS. I feel like SIDS was so common. I remember like growing up and hearing about it. Like we had a family member that family member had a friend who their baby died from SIDS and they didn't know like what happened. And I remember like growing up and thinking like, that's so scary, and like finding out like how common it was. And I remember thinking like, that's so scary that you could just have a baby and the baby could just die in like their sleep, like, and no one knows why or why it happens. Like just no rhyme or reason.
The name of it is absolutely a ridiculous name.
Right.
Sudden infant death syndrome.
Right.
What does that mean?
Right.
Why would we suddenly die like
and
that?
Like there's
what
like
is the cause of
when
it?
People like adults die, you can trace it back to a reason, like a heart attack or something. Like you can always trace it back to something, but sudden infant death syndrome, but no rhyme or reason as to why. And now, I don't know if I had read it somewhere or if I was just like talking to someone about it, but I feel like now the consensus is they're tying SIDS to vaccines.
I did read that. You did read it because I read that also.
You did too? Okay, yeah. So I'm like, that makes so much sense because as infants, like that's when they get the most, I forgot, what is it like? I think from the age, like from when you're born to when you turn 18, I think it's like 78 doses of vaccines. Crazy. And then like most of that is when they're infants. And then that's when you're like, I remember with my son, like it was like every 2 or 3 months you were taking them back. You're supposed to take them back. You're on the schedule to get like 6 or 7 vaccines. And that would make sense. Like for these babies to be dying all of a sudden because they're getting all these vaccines, and what's in these vaccines? Formaldehyde, like all these crazy ingredients.
A trace of the actual sickness, the disease or whatever. And the misinformation part of it, like I go back and I go, man, I wish I would have like been more informed or read more, you know, when I was raising my kids. But I can't understand why people think that if I don't get vaccinated, it's going to harm you if you're vaccinated. If you believe in this vaccine, what does me not getting vaccinated, how does that affect you? Right. So because we all know that, and they talk about it, they say it's true. Even if you get vaccinated, you can still get the virus. All the vaccine does is it's supposed to minimize the the whatchamacallits, I can't think, the
immunity.
Well, it's supposed to minimize the effects. So so that has nothing to do. If I don't get vaccinated, why do you care? It doesn't stop a spread of anything. It doesn't slow down a spread of anything. It's supposed to help you. So it should be your choice or you choosing to vaccinate your child. And the gaslighting thing, it's not only the industry that gaslights moms, it's other moms. And people who don't have children who should just shut the hell up because you have no kids. You know, I was reading the statistics of like certain types of diseases that you get vaccinated for. And they're like, okay, if you don't get vaccinated, the chance is, 0.5 in a million or whatever. Okay. And then if you do, it's 0.00003, 37 or whatever. And it was all different ones for different diseases, obviously. But you're asking me to take that chance, that 0.00037 on my child. Why are you getting angry with me because I don't want to do that? Or even for myself, the point, whatever it is for a certain disease, they want me, like, let's just say COVID or whatever. Don't get mad at me because I'm not throwing myself, to the throne, basically, you know what I mean? And saying, I will sacrifice my kids or I'll sacrifice myself so that I don't give a crap about you. I'm sorry. That is the truth. I care about me and I care about my family.
I feel like that's part of the psyop is like gaslighting people. And then like, I don't know if I'm crazy for thinking this, but like maybe there's somewhere out there they're paying influencers to spread this gaslighting information to make you feel bad for not wanting to vaccinate, whether it's COVID-19 or for your children. And then other people just pick up on that trend or pick up on that because it's so easy to be like, that's bad what you're doing versus actually researching it. Like jumping on the bandwagon about it being bad for you not to vaccinate. But what about the science? Like, if you're getting vaccinated, there's people that, like COVID-19, for example.
That's a crazy one.
They were trying to say, like, you needed to get it so that you don't get sick. But what about the natural immunity if you do get it?
Right.
Aren't those antibodies stronger?
Yes.
Naturally?
Yes. So my husband and I had it when we first opened the business, and we had it naturally. It was a scary time because everybody got it.
Yeah.
Everybody had it. And back then, they were like, oh, you got to stay in your house for 14 days so you don't have to come to work, and your employer has to pay you for it. And it's like, oh my God, we just opened this business. Holy crap. And we're in the office coughing and, you know, all the things, and having to work and work through it and all this stuff. And just like, it was like the domino effect, just rolling through the whole, you know, crew. Everybody's getting it. We were essential workers at that time, so we had to have this little pass to be able to go outside. It was so weird. It was just a weird time. That's when all the there was no toilet paper. What were people wiping their butts with? I don't know. You know, like there was a, you know, it was just crazy. But we never got the vaccine because I was like, why would we get the vaccine? We already had the virus. That's like, the vaccine is mimicking that you've already had the virus so that your body knows, okay, we've already had this, we know how to fight it or whatever. We already had that. And I had people actually getting mad because I didn't want to get I didn't want to get it. Why do I need to get it? I don't need to get it. I already had it.
And pushing that narrative of like, you don't care about older people, you don't care about others.
Kids, And but it has nothing to do with others because it's the symptoms would be minimized. That's the word I was looking for earlier.
Okay.
The symptoms would be minimized, supposedly, according to them, meaning the CDC and whoever, if you get this vaccine, right? But I had naturally immunity because we already had it. And I will tell you, and you probably experienced the same thing, I got COVID one time that I know of, and that was when it first started. All the other times.
And it was the hardest one that you got, right?
It was the hardest one. I lost my taste. My taste buds were gone. I couldn't smell,
Same here.
you know, but it was like, okay.
Yeah.
Whatever.
I had like a really bad sore throat. And then every time I got sick after that, it just felt like the flu.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, maybe I did have COVID again, but it wasn't enough for me to be like, oh, you know, 14 days, we got to be in the house and don't talk to anybody. And
then all
the
the
toilet paper.
What are the booster shots that you had to get for it if you did get vaccinated?
I know so many people personally that have been so sick since getting that vaccine, have just, I mean, they're always sick and they were always getting COVID. And I'm like, remember when we had to do the stupid little home test?
Yeah.
Oh my God, that drove me crazy. I had them on auto supply, on auto delivery, I mean, from Amazon. And you had to like stick that thing up your nose and do the, put it on the thing and it would tell you, you know, and then they'd always have that little disclaimer like, well, it might be the flu. We're not really sure.
Right.
What, okay.
Right.
So, and then you had to like prove that, you know, you didn't have it and just a weird time. But
it became very like, I don't know what the word for it is. It almost felt like, what's that movie where they're like monitoring you while you're in your home and when you leave and you got to like, or maybe it's a book. What is it?
Maybe it was a book that turned into a movie.
Right. Maybe. I don't know.
It
but
sounds like a good one.
Yeah. But like,
that's
it
real
just
life.
felt like that. Like, it just felt like, I remember at my previous employer, like I couldn't go back to work until I tested negative for it. And then I had to like pay for the test out of pocket.
Yeah.
And then if you did test positive, you had to wait a couple more days and then redo
Test
it.
again.
And you couldn't get back to work until you tested negative for it.
Well, that's what we had for our employees. They had to test and then, you know, and then they're trying to push employers to make people get vaccinated, get the vaccine. And we're like, we were thinking ahead and we're like, I don't want anybody coming back and suing us for making them do something. Because that's like, to us, we already knew that's against someone's will.
Right.
So we just told everybody, if you want to get it, go ahead and get it. But we're not forcing anybody to do it. You don't have to do it here.
Yeah.
And then we had a couple of customers that were like, you know, people who aren't vaccinated can't come on our property and this and that, which I also feel is against the law. You know, why do people have to disclose their medical information? Like they violated so many laws, so many HIPAA laws.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. And it was just it was a crazy time. But now the way I feel about vaccines is completely different, obviously, than when I was in my 20s. Now I read about it, and I think what woke me up was the COVID thing. That's what really made me go.
Well, then you started hearing about all the like side effects to it after the fact.
The heart ones,
the myocarditis. You know what's actually crazy too? I was reading about this the other day was COVID-19. If you were getting the boosters, you had a high chance, or they found later that people were getting, what's that one syndrome, Guillain-Barre syndrome, where it's like half your face droops.
Yes,
my brother had it, and
I remember. I remember
he was getting the boosters or the booster shots.
Yeah,
and I'm like, I wonder if it was because of those booster shots that he ended up getting that. But they thought it was from him eating like raw chicken or something. Or the doctors try to say
they thought it was food poisoning.
Yeah,
from the Asian restaurant.
Yes, the doctors try to say, they're trying to pin it from that. They're like, did you eat anything raw? Like, what was the last thing you ate? And he had ate right before that happened. He ate at an Asian restaurant, and they try to pin it on that.
Yeah,
but yeah, myocarditis. That. What else was happening to people?
I think it brought their immunity. I think it made it down. Yeah, because. Did you notice the people that were getting those were sick all the time?
Yeah.
All the time.
Yeah.
I mean, my mother-in-law, I don't know if she'll watch this, but if she does, she was getting the COVID shot and the boosters and all that. And she stayed sick, basically. She was sick all the time. My sister-in-law sick all the time. The whole house, they were all sick all the time.
Yeah.
And here I was. I mean, when was the last time you remember me being sick? Really?
It's been a while. Yeah. It's been a while.
Yeah. And if I do get sick, it's like I bounce right, maybe one day.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, I have a headache or,
you
know, sniffling or whatever. But it's been a long time. Same with him, you know. So, but we didn't do any of that. We were just like, no, I don't, something's wrong with this. And like you and I had this conversation before, but there wasn't enough research done on that one. That seems like that one came out so quick. Like they were just.
And I remember too, like when it had just came out, like women were reporting like maybe a month or a year in, they were like, I haven't had my period in a while. And people, like women were complaining, or not complaining, but there was like talk about women losing their menstrual cycles or people having issues getting pregnant or people having miscarriages after having gotten the vaccine. And now there's like a bunch of research on it. Like, that's one of the side effects.
Yeah.
And that's so wild to me. And what's also wild too was there was two sides of the token. One side of the token was you have to get this vaccine or else like you were considered a bad person.
Yeah.
And the other side was the persuasion side where it was like, hey, get this vaccine and we'll, you know, give you a $50 gift card. And it's like, that was when weird. Has that ever happened? Like there's nothing free in this world. And for all of a sudden they're like, oh, you get a free meal here or you get a $50 gift card. Like
it was like
such a weird incentive.
Unhealthy places too. Like here, eat a cheeseburger.
Yeah.
That's so healthy for you. That'll help you.
Yeah. You know? It wasn't like, hey, we'll take $50 off your utility bill.
Right.
You know what I mean? It was like, here's this $50 gift card to McDonald's.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
It was so weird.
You know what was funny too?
What?
This just made me think about it when you said McDonald's.
What?
I laughed at the ones that were just ridiculous and the ones that I mean, you know who I'm talking about. If you go in Walmart, I try not to go in Walmart because we talked about Walmart and it's just a little.
It's not your favorite.
It's not my favorite place to go. But
no offense, Walmart.
Yeah. Walmart online shopping is actually good.
I agree. Get on their annual plan or whatever it's called, their membership.
Yes.
Yeah.
But going in the store has nothing to do with you, Walmart. It has everything to do with some of the people that go there. So anyways, you know who I'm talking about. They're on their scooters.
Yeah.
Okay. They're probably, and I'm sorry, overweight people, but they're probably like 400 or 500 pounds and they're on their scooters. And they got masks and gloves and all the things going on because they care about their health. And I'm just like, you don't care about your health. Like,
no,
it's apparent you don't care about your health. So stop. You know what I mean? Like, what is a mask going to do?
Yeah.
And some gloves. Like, stop eating and walk around. Why are you on a scooter? You know? And And it's pure laziness. It's not anything to do with, you know, anything else. It's just you're lazy and you don't, and that's why you're unhealthy.
Yeah.
You don't probably, you will get COVID and it will affect you really, really bad because you're an unhealthy person. I'm sure you have diabetes and all the things.
Exactly. I wonder if there's any studies on people who, for example, like the people that are fairly healthy. I wonder if those people got vaccinated, if they had less side effects versus the people who were overweight, eating all the bad foods, like not working out, and they got the COVID vaccine. I wonder if they had more side effects.
So I think it's different. And I don't know about the studies, but I do know personally.
Okay.
So my stepmom's dad, very healthy.
Okay.
Was run every year. This man would, whatever year he turned, he would run like miles.
Okay.
And do things that went with like his age group.
Yeah.
So he, I think he's in his 80s now or something like that. But such a healthy man. I always remember him doing push-ups and sit-ups and pull-ups and running and triathlon stuff. And he got the vaccine.
He got injured?
He's not the same person anymore.
Wow.
At all. He's not. And she talks about it, you know, like how, you know, she thinks it has something to do with that. So I think, I think he got a heart issue. I'll have to double check, but I'm pretty sure that he ended up getting a heart issue because of, we assume it was because of that. But it's just weird how the people that did get, the healthy people that did get it, and then they ended up with these heart issues.
Yeah.
But anybody that is unhealthy and doesn't take care of themselves, their risks are going to be way higher.
Yeah.
And nobody really talks about that. They don't go, hey, you know what? If you are 500 pounds and you're a couch potato and you eat microwaved food all the time or Jack in the Box and drink sodas, you probably shouldn't get this vaccine because this is going to really, you know, your percentage is going to be higher. They put us like in this general type thing where it's for everybody, it's 0.000037 when in reality, each person should be treated as differently. Like you would be different than me. You're pregnant. So your chances are going to be different than mine, right? I'm an older woman, you know, I'm in my 50s, you're in your 30s. It's going to be different. You know, somebody that is 500 pounds is going to be different than me,
right?
You know, and someone that's, you know what I mean? So I think they just don't look at that type of stuff. They just generalize everything, just like they do with hormones. Same thing. It's like the fat man.
There's a threshold. Your threshold is the same threshold as mine. And I'm like, how?
It's not.
That's so weird.
Not. Which reminds me of, I always talk about this all the time, vitamins. Vitamins are the stupidest scam ever.
Like taking vitamins.
Taking vitamins. Okay. And the ones I'm talking about are not like good supplements. But generalizing, when you go into a doctor and they say, oh, you know what? Are you taking a 1 a day?
Oh.
And it's like generic. So it's not a one size fits all for people. It has to be catered to your body and what you need. Like I can't take vitamin D. So if I took a 1 a day multivitamin, I'm taking vitamin D and I'm not supposed to be taking vitamin D.
Right.
So there's going to be a side effect for me. So, and then people have said stupid stuff to me like, oh, well, why do you take you take like 20 pills? Yeah, because this is catered to my body. This is what my body is low in this and high in this. So that's why I take it this way.
And by pills, you mean supplements?
Supplements,
right.
Yes. Yeah, supplements. So,
but there's like certain blood tests that you can take that people don't know of or don't. Like if you go to your general doctor, they're not going to do these blood panels on you.
Right.
But you can get these blood panels done where it tests like your vitamin A, your vitamin B, your vitamin D, all the things. Yeah.
Which is exactly what I did. And I know you've done it also, but it's exactly what I did was what's for my body. And so I feel like that's the vaccine thing too. Not everybody should be taking back. You should not get on somebody for their choice.
Right.
We like to be like my body, my choice when it comes to aborting babies.
Right.
But we don't want to be that way when it comes to vaccines.
Which reminds me, one of our nail techs Her son died from a vaccine injury, from
Are you
COVID, from the COVID-19
serious?
vaccine.
From the vaccine.
Yeah.
She
So
said from the
he's
vaccine.
convinced too. She's convinced, she's Asian or some type of Asian, that it's
Vietnamese,
from,
maybe?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly. She's convinced that it was from the COVID vaccine. She said that he was healthy. Her son was like younger than me. I think he was in his like early 20s.
Wow.
Working just like as a waiter at one of the wineries, and said never had any issues with him ever, like growing up, such a healthy boy. And then her and her husband were pushing him to get the vaccine because there was like, she said, like, we were falling into the fear mongering, which was like, if you don't get vaccinated and the people around you don't get vaccinated, then you can spread it, get other people sick. So she's like guilty. She feels guilty.
Sad.
Because she was like, I was forcing him, myself and my husband were forcing him, telling him he had to get the vaccine because we didn't want to get our clients sick when they came to get their nails done. So we were forcing him to get the vaccine. Wow. So he got the vaccine, was going to get the boosters. And I forgot what she said, like how many boosters in. She said he fell sick like maybe 2 weeks after it. And it started like, it was weird. Like she said it started with like him not being able to walk. So it started like affecting like his bones, or maybe it was his spine. So it started like that, where he wasn't able to walk. And then like she showed me pictures and videos of her husband, like he would be on his dad's back, like holding onto his dad, and his dad would be walking and he would be like dragging his feet behind his dad.
Sad.
I know. And then from there it went to like he was having issues breathing. They had taken him to the hospital. They turned him away. They're like, no, he's fine, his levels are good. And then again,
how's he fine?
Yeah, but then also on top of that, he's like complaining of not being able to breathe.
Oh yeah.
And then they're like, no, he's good. He just hears this what is those little like asthma things?
Oh yeah, the
They're
inhalers.
Like, yeah, an inhaler. And they're like, oh, he's good. He should be fine. He went home, and then she said like 2 days later, he was like really struggling. Like it was like panic mode, like he couldn't breathe. So they ended up driving him down to so they ended up taking him to the same hospital out here. Then they said, there's nothing we can do for him here. You guys need to take him to like a specialized doctor. Ended up taking him to a hospital where they do like research, like a hospital, a research hospital. That's where he got admitted. They ended up, I forgot what she said, it was very rare. They diagnosed him with like this, like some type of lung disease. And she said it was rare. Like her and her daughter were doing like research like all over the place, trying to figure out like where this could have came from, like how it was such a rare disease that the doctors were like, we have no idea what to do. Like they had no idea.
That's scary.
Can you imagine? Your son is dying and these doctors are like, we've never, like, this is so rare. We have nothing on this. Like there's no research on this. There's no medication. So basically what they did was trying to like, they basically try to keep him alive as long as they could, like on a ventilator, oxygen, and all the things. He ended up dying, but she was like, to this day, she's like, I'm convinced it was from the COVID-19 vaccine.
Yeah, it probably was.
I'm like,
that's another thing too, is those ventilators. Those were killing a lot of people, and they tried to blame it on the actual COVID, getting COVID, but it was actually them killing people.
Well, wasn't there a rumor going around? I never fact checked it, but I thought there was something going around saying like if the hospitals had a certain amount of deaths, or if like there were deaths tied to it being COVID-19, they were getting like payouts for it or something like that. I don't know. Yeah,
there was another personal thing is I knew somebody that her husband died during this time, and she swore it was that on his death certificate they put he died of COVID.
Wow.
And he had cancer.
I actually heard about that too, happening to someone else. Yeah. A family friend, they had someone die in a motorcycle accident.
Oh.
And they, on the death certificate, it said COVID-19.
Can you believe it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so they were falsifying stuff, they were falsifying. And then also when they died on the ventilators, they were saying they died because of that. But they actually, Elon Musk talked about it. And he was talking about how people can't, when they were putting people on ventilators, they were basically like exploding their lungs.
Yeah.
They were exploding their lungs. That's what they were doing.
If they didn't need to be on a ventilator.
Yes. Yes. Yeah. Because, he researches all that stuff. No matter if people like him or don't, he's a very smart person.
For sure.
And he had been researching this because he wants to put people up in space. So he was researching ventilator type stuff. And he said there's no way that people can survive on that.
Right.
Because it will basically blow up your lungs. It burns your lungs up. That just disintegrates them. So people were dying of that. And then they were just putting, COVID, they died of COVID. And that's how those numbers got so high. But
they inflated the numbers.
Yes. Yeah.
But even the way they study, even the way they study vaccines is so strange. I was reading that when they develop vaccines, they don't, so let me word it. So when they develop a vaccine, instead of testing it vaccine to nothing, so like a placebo, a vaccine to a placebo effect,
right?
Instead of doing it like that, they're testing it vaccine to vaccine.
Okay.
And you're not supposed to do that. You're
same vaccine to same vaccine?
Different vaccine to different vaccine.
Wow.
So they're testing it against each other instead of being like, okay, this COVID-19 vaccine, let me test it against this that has no vaccine.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's weird.
That would be a test.
It's very misleading. So they try to say like, oh no, this vaccine is safe compared to this vaccine, but you're not supposed to compare it to itself. Like compare it to itself or nothing. So I think that's strange. But I was also reading too, back in like, what was it? Hold on. At a 2025 Senate hearing, attorney Aaron Siri discussed a study that he argued deserved more public attention. He claimed it found differences in rates of chronic illness between vaccinated and unvaccinated children. These claims remain controversial, and the study's methodology and conclusion have been challenged. So while vaccines, like any medical intervention, can cause rare adverse events, claims about broad differences in chronic illness or neurodevelopmental conditions require careful evaluation and should be interpreted in light of the full body of scientific evidence. But basically, in this hearing, he said that they did a study on the unvaccinated kids versus unvaccinated versus vaccinated, and they found that the unvaccinated kids had less rates of like neurodevelopmental issues, chronic illnesses, autoimmune diseases compared to the kids who were vaccinated.
And where's that study? Why is that not released anywhere that people can see that? And
I think it was the CDC who did the study.
Oh, wow.
So did they bury it? I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, he put it on the radar back in 2025 in a Senate hearing. I'm like, that's crazy.
Yeah.
But even my son, like I remember one of the vaccines, I forgot which one it was. I think it was like one of the ones where, like the atopic ones, like so that he didn't get like, what are those ones, those diseases that you can get where you like, not shingles, like chickenpox, measles. Yeah. It was one of those vaccines.
Okay.
Because I think you have to get them in doses. After the first one that he got like really sick, like a really bad fever. He was sick. Like he hadn't been sick like that in like ever.
And that's from a vaccine, not the actual sickness.
Yeah. And it was right after the vaccine. And I was like, absolutely not. Like there's no way. I'm not like, I was so scared that I didn't take him to get the last of the doses. So I was like, I'm not risking it.
Right. Because you might be the 0.00037.
Yeah. And how many
percentage?
Like, have you heard of the people that got vaccinated with HPV and ended up getting?
I know 2 people.
I know people too
that got it after getting that vaccine.
I remember being in college and people talked about it in one of my classes. Like, a few girls, like they're like, yeah, we got the HPV vaccine and ended up being diagnosed with HPV. And I'm like,
they got it.
How?
Yeah, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. There's I was looking at the guy who invented, so it was the smallpox was the first vaccine that was released. It was an Englishman.
Okay.
He was a physician and a scientist. And according to Wikipedia, he pioneered the concept of vaccines and created the smallpox vaccine. Okay. That was the world's first vaccine. And he used it in 1798. That's when it first came out against smallpox. And they're saying that it helped. He got awards and all kinds of stuff for it. But at that time, I guess there was smallpox. It killed around 10% of the global population. Okay. with a number as high as 20% in towns and cities where infections spread more easily.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So in 1821, he was appointed physician to King George. Okay. And he got he was in the Royal Society and all kinds of stuff, but he was the first person that introduced this.
Yeah.
But what I was thinking about was, I remember Queen Elizabeth was one of the people that believed in vaccines.
Mm-hmm.
But back then, the vaccines were a lot more pure than they are now. Now they just put all kinds of junk in it. And even back when I was vaccinating my kids, the vaccine schedules were pretty much kind of spread out. And they weren't like so many at one time. Now it's like vaccinating your kids. I'm like, what do you mean? What do you mean he's getting 6 different vaccines? Like, what? I remember doing that with our dogs. We were breeding dogs, and we had to do a bunch of vaccines all at one time. And I'm like, that's what they do to dogs.
Which I have a theory about that too. I'll get back. We'll circle back to that.
Okay.
But yeah, finish what you were saying.
Yeah. So I thought it was odd. Like, why are we putting so many vaccines into a small little new baby where their immunity, it's so low? They I don't see how anybody can think that they can handle that. And then I would be gaslit when I was raising my kids, because I'd be freaking out, panicking. Oh my God, they have a fever. And because that's the first thing that starts happening. They're all red and they have a fever. And then you feel horrible that you took them and did this to them. They're sick. And
it's scary. You can't give them anything either, because like medications, you can't give it to a 6-month-old.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. What do you give them? And then the doctors just tell you, oh, it's normal. It's normal for them to have a fever. And I get it. The body, that's its natural defense to get a fever and all that. But why are we purposely doing this? With chickenpox, I didn't give my kids any type of vaccine. I don't even think that they had that vaccine yet. I might be wrong, but this was in the 90s. I don't think they had it yet. But you know what I did? I knew one of my friends, her kids had the chickenpox. I took my kids over to the house and said, I'm getting it done and out of the way.
Natural immunity. Yeah.
And my kids were fine.
Yeah.
They were fine. They had the chickenpox and itching and all the things, but they were fine.
Yeah.
But what was your point on the dog thing? I'm interested in.
Oh, you're going to think I'm crazy. I think my husband thinks I'm crazy for thinking it. I think I brought this up to him and he was just like, okay. But my theory is this. So I feel like it goes hand in hand with vaccines. So you know how nowadays dogs, or at least in my perspective, just based off like our dog and then like friends' dogs who keep them on a schedule, take them to the vet when they're supposed to, like being like a responsible pet parent. You're supposed to take your dogs to get these vaccines like every so often, like every few months or every year. They're supposed to go and get like new vaccines.
The rabies every year,
every 3 years, and all the things, right? Well, why is it that so many dogs now have all these allergies, have all these like digestive issues? Like even with our cat, like when we got the cat, she was getting all her vaccine. Like we had the Siamese, had her on all the vaccines and all the things. She had major digestive issues. Same with our dog. Like he has a very sensitive stomach. He has allergies. We have to take, like he's on an allergy medication that we have to give him every like few days. And why is it that my dog is like that? And then like I have 2 other friends who have their dogs who also they have them on it's called Apoquel for their dogs for the allergy stuff. And I know that they have them at a vet because we go to the same, one of those friends, we go to the same vet. I'm like, why is it that our dogs who are all vaccinated and supposed to be healthy have all these like like they can't have certain foods or have certain food sensitivities or have allergies, like
or get tumors.
Exactly.
Remember Apollo had
he did tumor. Have exactly. How is it that it's so prevalent amongst these dogs, but my mom, who's had like 10 dogs and never once took them to the vet, feeds them kitchen food, like in that Mexican food, like in canola oil. Here's some beans and tortilla. Here's some carne with chile. Like, and her dogs have never had any issues. Like her dogs die of old age or they got hit by a car because they got out of their backyard. But I'm like, and my mom was actually the one who brought it to my attention. She was like, You know what's so weird? Like for your dog being as healthy and like, you know, you spending like his food's super expensive. She's like, you buy all the expensive food, you do all this and that. And like, you're all like, you know, super anal about how you do stuff. He gets sick a lot. And I was like,
you're right.
You're right. She's like, and us who we don't even do anything, like maybe they get a haircut once or twice a year.
Yeah.
Like our dogs live to be 15 years old. And I'm like,
yeah.
No allergies, no digestive issues, no nothing. And I'm like, is it the vaccines?
Yeah, I mean, probably. I've talked to a couple of people who have dogs that say their dogs have like they have mental disorders. And I'm like, why? Why does your dog have a mental disorder? Like, oh, it has, you know, something that you would think a human has anxiety. What? Why?
Oh, I've heard that. Yeah.
But they're all vaccinated. All those dogs are vaccinated and they have mental disorders.
Mine is just like, a boxer, so he's just born to be goofy.
He's just a crazy dog.
Yeah.
That's
crazy.
crazy.
So weird. Yeah, but that's my theory. I don't know. Maybe we'll find out in a few years if it's true.
Something there. I think so.
Like, because it's a profit.
Well, it makes sense because look at all the kids and the things that people are saying. Like, what's the woman's name? The old actress. I don't mean old as an age, but Jenny McCarthy. She's a big advocate for not vaccinating children.
Yeah.
Because she swears up and down that her child was hurt by the vaccines. And so her big thing is that children get ADHD from vaccines.
Those are neurodevelopmental issues. Yeah. And then like that was also part of one of the CDC studies was that the kids who are unvaccinated had less speech developmental issues.
Right.
I'm like, I don't want to be,
wild.
That's what literally like when I go to the pediatrician, like actually I feel like my son's pediatrician's a little bit more progressive because they don't push the vaccines on us. They do this really cool thing where they're like, hey, he's due for these ones. You don't have to decide today if you want to go home and do your research and then come back next time and let us know. We can do it, which I really love. But I feel like that's what I think about because there's that part of me where it's like, oh, well, you know, vaccines, like one day or back in the day, everyone was getting these vaccines and everyone was fine. And I don't want to be the reason why he gets sick or get something like if he got polio, like later down the line or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't want to be the reason for it. But then I'm like, but then also the other side of me is like, but then what if he stops talking?
Right.
What if he like what if something, and it's like right after, and then who do I go after?
Right. You can't go after anybody.
No.
They are protected just like the people that are protected with, you know, what is it that we were just talking about the other day? The people that are protected from the spray, spraying the food, the chemicals in the food.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like they're all protected. They're all protected now. Everyone's protected. They don't care.
It's scary. It's not like about like if something happened, like I'm going to go after someone for money, but it's like someone should be held accountable. And then on top of that, like with accountability, that brings like light to the situation and then it helps other moms and other people make more informed decisions.
Exactly.
But if there's not going to be any type of accountability, then it's like I don't even want to take my chance.
Right. And when was the last time there was a polio outbreak? That's my thing.
Right.
And was there even really a polio outbreak?
That part. Yeah. Yeah.
I kind of don't believe it. I kind of believe that it was from spraying chemicals in the crops. I mean, there's a big story about that came out. And so really, you know what I mean? I just, I don't know.
It's just for profit. I feel like it also goes hand in hand with like circumcision. I know it's like a little bit off the topic, but still on topic.
100%.
I'm like,
what are we doing?
I
we're supposed to show Jesus or God, not even Jesus. We're just supposed to show everybody.
Like $50,000, $50,000 to $80,000 for that piece of skin to take off. For the doctors to take it off, like, and they sell it. I think because there's like stem cells in it or something. $50,000 to $80,000 just for that, and I'm like,
why are humans so disgusting? I don't understand it. And what does that do to your kids? Like, you know what I mean? And
then they try to say, oh, they don't feel it. No, you're lying. You're trying to manipulate me into telling me that they don't feel it because he's a newborn and he can't tell me like, F that hurt.
Yeah.
But they have nerves. Like you can't say that. That's
and it's there for a reason.
Saying chopping off your newborn's finger and being like, oh well, they can't feel it because they don't have sensation.
Yeah.
No, I'm not common sense. Like no, it hurts and I know it does.
Yeah.
And they just can't say it. Like that's so sad.
And we were born with things for a reason.
Right.
Like, what is...
And then do you want to go back to the tradition as to why we started doing that anyways in the first place?
It was a religious thing. It was a religious thing. And it wasn't amongst every religion.
No.
It was one religion, which I am not. I don't hate that religion, but I'm not that religion. So why am I going to do this?
Right.
I don't need to show
it was brought
God
to the U.S. Yeah, it was brought to the U.S.
that we are clean. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And all the things. So it's really weird. I think they've kind of gotten away from that a little bit, right?
Yeah, for sure.
They don't push it as much as when I was raising my kids.
They didn't even ask. Actually, no, they did ask us for my son's pediatrician appointment.
Yeah.
But we just said no one time, and then that was it. Never brought it up after that.
You know, speaking of that.
What?
This is like kind of off topic, but kind of on topic. Isn't it weird how it happens in that religion way later?
It does? I didn't know that.
Yes.
What do you mean?
Yeah. Like, look it up. It happens way later. It's like, that's why they have the little thing that they have going on.
What are you talking about? What?
It's not like at birth. And
so if you're that religion and you're getting it done, it's not happening when you're a newborn.
No.
What?
No.
But it's also weird how they try to manipulate you into thinking it's like a sanitary thing. Like, oh, if you don't do it, then your son is going to have like issues later on down the line. Like they're going to get infections. And I'm like, no, that's a sanitary issue. And you're not teaching your son
to be clean.
How to be clean. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, and then, you know, it's also really weird when they I don't know why everything's turned into a sexual thing. Then they try to guilt you with, oh, what about when they get older?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Did they do that to you? They did that to me. They gaslit me and was like, oh, when it gets older and that's going to be weird and it's going to look weird or whatever. You know what I mean? And I'm like, why are you thinking about a sexual thing for my newborn son?
I would shut that down
weird.
So fast, but I feel like the only weird gaslit stuff that I got was from my mom. And she was like, well, you know, it's a sanitary issue and you don't want him to have to get a surgery later on down the line because he gets like infections all the time. And I'm like, no, that you just teach them how to clean it and you can look it up how to teach him. And also he has a dad that can teach him. Like, I don't, that's in your ballpark. You can teach him how to be clean. You know what I mean? Like, no, that's just a lack of education.
No,
like the same way like women learn how to like be sanitary when it's their time of the month. Like, same thing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I don't know. I can't get internet right now to find out when they do it, but I know it's not like what they do, just regular.
No? Let me see.
I'm sounding weird by saying regular people. I don't mean regular people. I mean a different religion. You know what I mean? So, yeah, it's strange. It's really strange to me. This is a wacky world. We're living in the wild, wild west right now, by the way.
It's creepy. I don't have internet either.
Yeah, I have internet, but I know it's not when they're born or like shortly after.
What the thought behind that is and why.
I don't know. It's probably tradition. I'm sure it's tradition.
Like related. A coming of age thing?
I don't really know. I don't understand it. Because I'm not Jewish, but
yeah.
I don't know. But I'm not going to just I'm never that person now, at least when I was younger, but now I'm not that person that everybody's jumping off the cliff, so I jump off the cliff. I always want to go, why are we jumping off the cliff? What are we doing? Why? Oh no, that doesn't sound very smart to me. So
I think the internet helped us like a lot in that way.
Yeah. You think so?
Yeah.
It's hurt us, but it's helped us too.
I think that's one of the cons of it is that now we have that information and we have that access like to find out like, you know, like for example, if your kid was vaccine injured back in the day, like in your times, like it was very like unless your neighbors or friend of a friend or family
how would you know?
Exactly, how would you know? They weren't putting it in the newspaper. I'm sure of it. They weren't probably blasting it on the TV.
No one was talking about it.
Right. Now we have social media. We have like, you know, YouTube. We have like the news. We have like internet in general. Google where you can look stuff up and you can hear about these stories. Like, oh, if say, for example, something happened to my son, I can be like, oh, you know, son, this, that. And then it showed me like a bunch of cases of like certain times this has happened in like the past or cases that have been like hidden or squashed because of a certain thing or people that get paid out. But yeah.
Now I think people are just running to the hospitals now because if they get explosive diarrhea, they automatically think they have, you know, that.
What is it?
Parasite.
Yeah.
What
is the term for it?
I can't even look it up right now, but it's something that's been around forever. It's basically you have, shitty McShitty hands and you're touching food. You know what I mean? Like that's basically what it is. Like I told you, I had growing up with somebody, her mom, everybody had chores when we were kids. Like you had chores. Nowadays, I don't really know what's going on, but we had chores and her chore was cleaning the toilet and cleaning the toilet for the whole entire family, not just cleaning the toilet for just, you didn't have your own bathroom. It was everybody shared the same toilet. So she had to go and clean the toilet and she got sick. That's what she got from not washing her hands properly, not wearing gloves and cleaning the toilet. They found fecal matter, she got sick. So that's what it was from. But
yeah, no, I feel like this whole parasite thing is like a psyop.
Yeah. We talked about it.
Yeah.
We talked about that. I was like, what is this? Parasite.
And what if they try to push a vaccine like, oh, if you have explosive diarrhea, get this vaccine.
And that's what COVID gave me PTSD of that. You know what I mean? And now look, they don't make anybody do it anymore.
Yeah.
No, they're not allowed to do it.
Yeah.
And I knew that was going to happen because it was only a matter of time before all these lawyers are like, they're like foaming at the mouth because they're like, that's against the law. You can't do that.
Well, yeah. Like, how is that any different than asking someone if they're pregnant or if they have herpes or if they have any other
an abortion?
Yeah. Like, how is that any different than being like, did you get the COVID-19 vaccine?
You legally can't ask stuff like that.
Cannot.
Remember when they were making people show their vaccination thing to get in a restaurant?
I lived it. You're giving me PTSD. We went to San Francisco, or we were coming down from Oregon, stopped in San Francisco. I was so excited because when I was younger, we had went to San Francisco, ate a bunch of oysters, ate a bunch of
disgusting.
Yeah, exactly. We had my girlfriends and I had a great time, ate all the food, all the things. I was so excited to go with my husband where I was like, we're going to eat at a good restaurant. We even found a really good restaurant. And it wasn't a cheap restaurant either. It was we're going to go and spend money.
Yeah.
They wouldn't let me go and eat. They said, where's your vaccine card? And I said, what? And they're like, you can't come in without your vaccine. Yeah. And I was like.
And concerts.
Yeah.
They were doing it at concerts too.
Yeah.
You can't do that.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Yeah.
I think I ended up faking at first. I think for a concert, I ended up faking we went to Hollywood, Universal Studios Hollywood.
Okay.
And they wouldn't let you in without the vaccine. So I ended up
Hollywood, of course.
Exactly. But I ended up using don't try this at home. But I ended up using.
They're going to come after you.
I know. I ended up
listening to us.
They're like, she's banned from Universal Studios. Yeah.
There was this person you knew.
There was this person that I knew who was going there. And they used a old negative COVID-19 test or something like that. Just changed the dates on it and then presented that at the gate and then went in.
Oh my God.
But how weird.
Yeah.
How weird.
Yeah. I had to go into now that I think about it, I had to go into somewhere. Why can't I remember what it is? That was the weirdest time in life. It was just seemed very weird. But I think it was a trade show or something stupid like that I didn't even want to be at in the first place. But, I went and we had to take a COVID test before we went in. There was people sitting at tables, weird. These ladies we stick this thing up your nose. And you're just just to get into this stupid thing that I didn't even want to be at in the first place. I was so pissed.
Yeah.
I was so mad. And then you have to sit there and wait and they give you a number and then they call your number. Nope, you don't have it. You can go in. And I'm thinking, this is the dumbest crap I have ever seen in my life. Even so weird. Standing in the lines. Remember that?
The 6 feet social distance.
Why? People's brains were sucked out of their heads.
Well, you made a good point. We talked about this last time where you were you had to stand 6 feet apart from each other. And then you get to the cash register and there's this plastic thing right there.
Yeah.
But then everyone's touching the same ATM.
Yes. Everyone's touching, putting the numbers. And I'm looking at everybody I don't understand this.
Yeah.
What? Everyone's touching this. But okay, we stood 6 feet apart, and then the ladies got and some places you go in and they still have that crap up there. And I'm like, or I see people driving in their cars with the mask on and gloves and, you know, and then they take the mask off and hang it. Remember that in their rearview mirror, and they're wearing the same dirty, contaminated mask. They just put it right back on the next day. Or, I mean, I'm just like, do you remember we talked about this too? Do you ever see surgeons in the hospital wearing the same masks over and over again? No. Why would they do that?
Yeah.
Like, how dumb.
Wait, is it true, or am I having like some type of weird like amnesia? But
you have Havana syndrome.
Do I probably do have to be targeted? Exactly. I'm a threat to society. Is it true that there was like a cancer that was coming about from people using hand sanitizer?
I don't know about. I didn't read about that.
Okay.
I didn't read about that.
Maybe that's just like me. I made that up.
Maybe
I don't know.
Made it up,
We'll
or
maybe
you
later.
did see that.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was a fun discussion there about vaccines, and
do your research.
Do your research before you just let
and trust your gut.
Yeah, trust your gut, and don't let people gaslight you.
Yeah,
and make you feel guilty. You know, if they want to say, you know, my body, my choice.
Yeah,
they gotta be that way
all across the board.
Yep, it's got to be that way all across the board. So, anyways,
I agree.
Yeah, this was fun, guys.
Yeah, thanks for listening and watching. We will see you guys next time.